I'm starting. Yeah?
Yeah.
Welcome to the weekend.
Mark!
Sorry.
Well, welcome to the weekend. It's Saturday, and it's the second last episode of
It is
Tent
indeed.
Talk.
Saturday, mixed conditions so far today. But we're back, and we're starting in Big
In
Mark's
our
boat.
little boat. Right,
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Squeeze out.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay. We'll wander this way to start with, Jasper. We'll do a little bit of a view of what's over here in the fucking hell. Of what's over here.
Oh, I'm too big.
So big races today. We saw two huge races of the Grand.
We did
Which is
indeed.
pretty exciting. Brooks Leander, which was a UK mashup that we've been waiting for quite a while to be able to see.
We have. I was lucky enough to. I wasn't on the launch, but I was on the launch before that race, so I saw some of it. Both crews started being hyped up the whole week. Everyone's kind of been talking about it. Who have you got? Have you got Leander? Have you got Brooks? Ultimately, it was Brooks that won.
Yeah, they took control straight from
So quick.
straight from the get-go, for sure. Kind of similar to their race in the Visitors, where again they took control in that race against Brown.
Yeah. Well, I think it's such a tactic at Henley, especially when we've had conditions like we have. When you get up and you're leading that crew, there's that mind game of the crew that's losing. How am I going to get back here? What's going to happen? And I think Brooks just took that mature approach, took the lead, and just stormed through it in the Grand, and the same with the Visitors.
Yeah, we're actually just going to slide through here because this, Jasper, if you scooch your way through, is a great shot of the finish line right in front of us. Not great for photos, but it's really cool. If you want like a really secret place as a member of the press team to come and watch some racing, you can here. The commentary team is just through this very, very thick wall. And then above us is the press box, which overlooks everything on the river. If you want to head up there, we'll stay down here. You can kind of go up there, get a bit of a shot of
Does this make
of
you
what's
look
up
like
there.
normal size now?
It does, doesn't it? This is the press box. This is where kind of like more the writers go when they're at Henley Royal. Great place to kind of like view all the racing up there. We've got the go no go sign for tomorrow because as we hit finals day, it's going to get pretty busy on the river.
Yeah.
So some of them start coming up the race course rather than around the side.
Exactly.
Which is what that big lollipop is for. We also saw another grand race today, Washington versus the US development team.
We did indeed. US development team's a bit interesting because it's not really a development team. There's like some guys that missed out in Olympic trials, some guys that are sort of that Project LA composite kind of crew. So crew that's come together for the Grand. But no, they're racing extremely strong crew in the University of Washington. And that University of Washington today seems to have won pretty much everything this year.
It has. It was really dominant at the IRAs, as was the rest of the team. One of the really exciting things that I think we do see now is a Washington-Brooks like matchup.
Yeah.
One race that really springs to mind is 2018 Temple Challenge Cup, Washington versus Brooks. Like there is a big rivalry there. But of course, a lot of those conversations are like, well, you know, like some of the students in the Temple 8 aren't the top ones from Brooks, and some of the students in the Temple 8 from Washington weren't the top ones. This is
now the matchup.
This is it. This is the top 8 guys from both teams.
You've got the top.
Racing against
You've got
each
the
other.
top university in the US and the top university in the UK going head to head. Probably the biggest rowing event in the world.
This is finally like the actual real matchup.
Yeah.
There's no eligibility rules. There's no who's available for what under 23 project. This is it. This is
flat out.
This is whether they're going to make it or not. We're still waiting on the Remnant races for today. We've got a good matchup with Leander and Imperial versus Brooks, which is going to be another exciting matchup after the Leander Brooks race in the Grand this morning. So I'm really looking forward to that one and kind of see who like comes out on top there.
Yeah.
But we're still waiting on the Remnant races, so I think we'll have a little bit more to talk about there tomorrow.
We're still waiting Temple, Remenham, Jubilee, some big races that are still to come. There will be big deciding factors for Sunday.
Yeah, for sure.
I think one of the big races of today, especially when they were boating, was Shiplake against
Eton.
That just completely went out of my head. But yeah, Shiplake Eton. big walkout. Shipley, I think, just had so much momentum from yesterday. Eaton crew have been top this year. But Shipley won by length, and I'm not saying Shipley are a bad crew whatsoever, but it just seemed like they had that momentum. They had the Travelator.
Shipley didn't. Eaton did.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Eaton were warned for their steering quite a lot, especially in the middle of the course where they were starting to push over to the buck side, which we saw again in the Brooks Leander Grand Race. We saw Tom Bryce move out over to the buck side quite a lot. But yeah, like Shipley had a huge response in the last section against the Travelator in that middle, like as we come into the enclosures, and we're able to hold it all the way through into the line, which is pretty impressive. I think, we've had a lot of stream today. We do have a bit of a tail crosswind at the moment, but it is still starting to swing around. It's like maybe a crosshead.
Yeah.
But
and continuing on to the Sunday for the PE, we saw St Paul's Teddy's.
So St Paul's took control of that pretty
fast. St Paul's took basically control of that race straight after the island. Looked really strong, really long, really tough. And yeah, I think it bodes for a really exciting race tomorrow on the Sunday.
Yeah, we also saw Wargrave, one of the earliest races of today.
Yeah.
Early race, but strong lineup. We saw Thames A versus Leander A, which is probably the top two crews for the Wargrave this year. So a bit of a final taking place there. The winner of that was Thames A, and they'll go on to race London Rowing Club A tomorrow. That should be a pretty easy, clean-cut decision from them already. They've beaten London every single time so far this season. However, London Rowing Club men had also beaten Thames nearly every point this season.
I think we go back to the point of anything can happen at Henley.
Can.
It's Sunday.
And Thames really took control in that Thames Cup race, and kind of like walked off from that. That was a really impressive response from Thames, and they'll go on to race De Hoop to try and retain their title as the Thames Cup holders.
Yeah. What else did we have today so far?
We had the Island. We'll talk about the Island a little bit.
Yeah, we did. We had Newcastle University against UL.
Yeah.
Two top universities going at it against each other. I'd say it was pretty even. It was sort of quite back and forth. I'd say Newcastle took that early advantage off the Island, and Newcastle UL started to make a move. Probably
UL made a great move in the middle. They really worked to their advantage. 100%. Switched it on.
And as we saw yesterday with the Newcastle race in Durham, Newcastle have just got a really good finish in them. They got a really strong finish in them.
I think we saw that UL had really spent those penalties to try and get into that position, and it was insane to see them claw that basically full length all the way back and ahead. But it just wasn't enough to be able to compete against this last 150 metres. Yeah. And Newcastle just were able to up the rate a little bit earlier and kind of bring it into the line. So it's really impressive.
The other one was Cambridge Brooks.
Brooks punched their ticket for the final against Cambridge. I thought it was potentially a slightly easier race than they had yesterday against Oxford. I think Oxford probably came across as the stronger island crew there. But you never really know. There was a lot of racing yesterday, and Cambridge definitely had a tough fight to get into this one. Yeah. It's starting to rain, so I think Jasper, should we go inside? Let's have a bit of a wander.
Oh, this is fun.
This was fun, wasn't it? In we go. Other cool races. Whilst talking about the university students, let's chat Temple. Princeton A versus Brooks B, and Brooks A versus Harvard. I think they're the two races that we've got coming up.
That's the last race of the day, where we have.
So there's a very real chance here. Now, of course, Princeton A are looking incredibly strong.
Really strong. Yeah.
So against Brooks B is going to be a good fight up. Brooks A versus Harvard, again, great race. We've seen Harvard beat Brooks A at Marlow already,
Regatta.
But there's always been some changes. We've seen some good swaps and all that type of stuff. So
I think we see this a lot. Like last year, you would see quads win at national schools, then they don't win at Henley. Ultimately, some crews prep for these other regattas, and then when it comes to Henley, they might have gone a wee bit too hard in the early season. But I'm not putting anything off. I think it'll be a really good race, really close race as well.
Yeah.
I think, as some people at Henley pick of the day, I say that's one of my picks of the day, that race at the end of the day. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, we'll bring you the results tomorrow.
Yeah. What we won't see, although we might see a Brooks A versus Princeton race in the Temple, what we won't see is a Brooks versus Princeton race in the ladies, because Brooks got knocked out of Cambridge earlier on this morning.
Yeah.
Great response from Cambridge there. Got bumped up from the Temple to the ladies at the last moment, and have been able to compete all the way to the Sunday. So evidently the decision there to move them from the Temple to the ladies was a relatively smart decision. Jasper, I think if you go for a walk around and just video whatever you think is cool, we'll just kind of talk over the top of you. So don't worry too much about the video. Dear Lord. What else do we see? Prince Philip. We saw Headington School beat Newport, so that was really exciting to see a British crew. We spoke about it yesterday. Yeah. British crew into the Prince Philip, and Row America Rye go through on the other side of the draw against Marin.
Yeah, it looked like Headington had that really strong race with each other. I think they were down off the island, but not too much, maybe a canvas or so. But Headington really came back through that race, showed why they are the crew that they are. People speak about them. Once again, another great race. I keep saying it, I keep repeating myself. The Saturday racing is some of the best racing.
Well, this is it. Like we've got some awesome racing without the difficulty of the draw messing up. We've got the Dutch Women's 8 here, boating, of course, with a load of support because we've got quite a lot of Dutch crews here.
We do indeed.
We've got a lot of Neerhouse crews, lots of Lager crews, some Okeanos crews. Like we've got a lot of Dutch supporters that aren't necessarily here just for this boat, but are here to support the team in general, which is pretty exciting. This is where someone gets absolutely hooned by the stern of a boat. So Jasper, why don't you go film these lot getting on the water, and we're going to chat. I'll finish up on the Prince Philip, Headington School, Henley Women's Regatta, Peabody Cup champions. So they're pretty fast going into it. They beat Hinksey in the final, so you know you could argue that they are the fastest crew in the UK at the moment.
Yeah.
Row America Rye came across as the national champions from America, so it's a proper matchup of the fastest in the UK versus the fastest in the US at this point. So that's really exciting. Speaking about the women, Leander versus Canada going into the final. Leander looked really strong, especially as a club crew. There's a few people in there that have got goals aiming at like future national team selection and LA 2028. But Canada's speeds do seem a little bit higher on paper. But again, all to play for, although Canada seem very similar speeds at the very, very start. The speeds seem very similar at the start of the race. It is a barrier. It just kind of like expands at Forley and it expands a little bit bigger at the finish. So, look into that data as much as you want. There's always a lot going on here with people deliberately or not deliberately sandbagging those type of results. We spoke about the visitors already. Queen Mother, really exciting. 2 non-seeded boats into the final there, which is exciting.
Really happens. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an exciting one. Forley, Windsor Boys School versus Marlow. I think that happened yesterday, though, didn't it?
Windsor Boys Marlow.
Yeah, I think we got them into the final yesterday.
Yeah. No, they didn't. They raced today.
They raced this morning.
Yeah, Windsor Boys raced Hinksey and Marlow raced someone else.
Oh yeah, we did mention it. Yeah, Shiplake.
That's who it was, Shiplake.
Very true.
So two pretty local clubs to Henley facing out at the Folly, which will be a great race. I do think Windsor Boys have it. I think they've just looked strong all season. I've kept saying it.
For sure.
Someone's going to get their head knocked off there.
Oh, dear Lord. That's all good. We got 2 more things that I took down on paper as my kind of like main picks. USA versus Germany in the men's singles. Saw the US single have a great race and a great interview afterwards as well, talking about how like anything can happen tomorrow, and he's just really excited to race Ollie in the lead up to the Olympics.
Well, I think the thing that's really interesting about that sculler, speaking to one of the guys in the US team, was that he was originally on like a quad camp. unfortunately didn't make it, and then thought, yeah, you know what, I'll do the single. So won a load of things recently. He's now come to Henley without a boat. He then was found a boat 3 days before the event started. Seems like quite a mellow guy, really good guy. And yeah, he looks really comfortable in this race. I'm not sure how he'll fare up to the world champion Ollie Zeidler. We know how Zeidler races, really strong.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting.
But Zeidler going for, is it the record win on the
I guess so, yeah.
I think it might be.
So.
But yeah, that's going to be a great race, and hopefully we get some celebrations from somebody.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to that one. My last pick was AllMarkOne favourites, Freya Keto and Jenny Bates in the Stoner double. Great double there. Part of the Performance Sculling Academy programme at Eton Excelsior, run by Helen. But they had a great race today. Again, starting down and being able to row all the way through, a little bit like that Shiplake race.
I was in the launch for that race.
Oh, great. Here we go, big man.
Well, it rained quite heavily. I got a bit wet. I don't think that matters. But no, they did row through. The US seemed to be up by about a canvas or so, leading up to about Remenham. Got a nice little cheer. And then they sort of just walked away to about 3 lengths at the end. But strong double, obviously, they don't really roll together that much throughout the year, but they come together for Henley. And yeah, I think they've got a really strong chance tomorrow, which is really exciting.
It is. It's really exciting indeed. So we'll just kind of like have a bit of a chat about what we're doing tomorrow as well, just for those that have hung around this far. We've got a huge team here tomorrow. Let's not gloss over this one.
No.
AllMarkOne have got the biggest media team here out of any single provider here at Henley Royal Regatta tomorrow. We've got everything you can need. We've got boating photos. We know that we've got the celebration photos when you're coming off the water.
We've got two different angles for finish line photos as well.
We got some great finish line photos, and we'll be putting them up on social media as soon as we can, just to like keep those at home updated as well. We've got some finish line video clips which will be for sale on the site at the end, so I'm looking forward to those, some proper slow-mo celebrations. So if you're one of the celebrating crews, just make sure you keep that in mind. And then we've got our video team as well here doing some incredible work for some of our great clients. So thanks to you as well for trusting us with like your brand and your work. It means a huge amount. And we got Jasper behind the camera here as well, who's going to get a whole behind the scenes. Oh dear, oh no, oh this is not going to go very well.
There he is. There's Jasper, ladies and gentlemen. He makes all the behind the scenes kind of stuff. Look at the camera, Jasper, and smile.
All one so far. It was good, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, if you haven't watched that one, obviously go watch it. A little behind the scenes in that school, so you can take that back before I drop it. He'll be making a little behind the sines of Henley as well to see what we get up to.
Yeah, it's been really exciting so far this year. We've got one more tent talk to go. We'll have a bit of a wander around the town or something, I think, tomorrow. But it's been really exciting having everyone along for the ride. The tents are nearly empty now.
Nearly empty.
And it's getting really, really fun. So yeah, if you've been knocked out already, you're a spectator, or you didn't qualify, thanks for watching. If you're in the finals tomorrow, good luck. Check out the bow rigger of your boat tomorrow morning. Don't go boating without your present that we'll leave there for you. Anyway, we'll tap out. We'll tap out on that.
I'm going for it. Anyway, cheers, man. Let's go enjoy our Saturday and have a good Sunday. Tee-hee.
See you later.